unedited. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. I love being black. I I lo- I I love being black. Mm-hmm. Come on in. Come on in. All right. They coming. They coming. They coming. All right. I see y'all. Y'all coming. They coming in. Coming in. Coming in. All right. Don't forget to leave your boy some stars. All right. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I I love being black. All right, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. India Baker, Peggy Gay, Angelia Moore, William Dixie, Jay Pay, what's going on? Wanda Webb, Ray Bands. All right, Geraldine White. That's Emma J. I think that's pronounced that. Frank White, Mel Adams, Renee Jackson, Chris Moore, Boo Mo, Renee Jackson again, Xavier Dakes, Molesta Otis, K.L. Adams Sr., Katie Brown, Lamar Washington, Kevin Thomas family, Peggy again, Wilnita Carter, look at me. Tracy Taylor, Leonard Roy, Deborah Mitchell, Donna Teller, Eric, what's up, Eric? Christelle Marshbanks. All right. Raven Harris. Tamora. Jonas Lloyd. All right. I love being black. Tamika Williams. I love being black. Alexandria Barbie. Yeah, right. William Dixie again. All right, we got a great show tonight. We want to talk about, first of all, what we're going to start off talking about that River Oaks. Those of you that don't live in Chicago, River Oaks is a place, it's a shopping mall. And something happened today in the mall. And I covered it today. And there was a chase today. A chase on Bishop Ford Expressway. Those of you that are familiar with Chicago, that's one of the expressways on the south side, Bishop Ford. And they were chasing a car, a townhouse, a London townhouse, a minivan, Chrysler townhouse. And they drove it all the way to River Oaks. And they drove directly in front of the door and jumped out and ran inside the mall. Now, that's the first time we heard of something like this. And no one got caught. So, if they had been caught now, Katie Brown, they're not going to catch. Lamar Washington, not going to get caught now. Really talk. Donna Teller. Real talk. Raven Harris. All right, thank you, y'all. Thank you, guys. I got a Jonas Lloyd. Yes, I got a newborn, born May 31st. Actually, she was born out of town, so my mom brought her here, so I was able to meet her today. I met online, but I met her today. She was so precious, gave me great eye contact. Neck was like this. Oh my God, my grandbaby. I got 5 grandbabies, 3 boys and 2 girls. Isn't that something? I tell you, 5. My family is growing. I tell you. It's good to be living. What's up, Mia? Mia Thomas Parks, Tamika Turner. All right. Eddie, what's up, Eddie? What's that? Andrea Barbie, I'm pronouncing it. William Dixie, Lynn Miller, Judy Like. All right. Rosina Ziegler. All right. Angelia Moore. Okay. Delia Glory Keys. All right. How you doing? Mia D. All right, people. Let's get back on this crime stuff real quick. Now, they drove now. I've never heard that crime. That was a good getaway scheme. But eventually, if the cops go inside of the store, the mall, and rewind the tapes, they probably will get a good description, face description of these suspects that's running inside the mall. So that's the thing. No one got caught. We can't tell if they were juveniles or whatever. Marilyn Vance, all right. Crystal Knight Hunter, all right. And people, see, listen, the criminals, they involved. They smart. They know that was a great escape plan. You run into a mall full of people. We don't know if the suspects had weapons or not. We just don't know. And we want to talk about crime today. And we want to talk about the things we cannot enjoy and we cannot do just because of crime. So I need some callers to call in number. Talk to me. 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. It's a crime shame where parents, especially mothers, single mothers, cannot take their little ones to the park and enjoy swinging on the swings and playing on the playground without have to worry about gunshot violence. That's a shame. That's a shame that we allow these young terrorists that live in our communities terrorize us where we can't stand outside and enjoy ourselves in this beautiful summer weather. Chicago is a great city. Yes, it has her problems, just like any other city. But we have a lot of great things that we can do and enjoy here in the city of Chicago. But we can't enjoy them due to gang affiliation, through this social media beef, and a lot of things. People, it's a shame. And it's almost a shame to even live here, especially when you're raising young people. It's so much peer pressure. Parents tell you to do the right thing, but when you get out there and try to do the right thing, you get stepped on, you get beat on and spit on and everything. So it makes you a monster. I got a caller. Maybe a caller can bring some light out to some things about this crime thing. You can't drive a nice car. Hey, caller, 3699.
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey, Martin.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing? And that beautiful grandbaby.
Oh my God, isn't she beautiful? She was born. She was born in Iowa. So her mom came up here and brought up here, and I'm kind of glad because I don't think I was gonna drive to Iowa just to see my grandbaby. Not saying she's not worth it, but I'm glad she came and I got enjoyed. I brought her a couple of little outfits, and man. Just the way, just.
Oh, she looked like you too.
Yeah. Just another addition to the family. And it is what it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So let's talk about this crime thing that's going on in the city of Chicago, not only in the city, in the suburbs too as well. What do you think? You just can't enjoy the city. You can't enjoy the weather.
You can't. You can't. I mean, I've come from a time where the highlight of the summer was waiting till about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and you would be able to sit on your porch. Everybody on the block will be outside, music playing. You can sit on your porch, sit on the porch till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That is no more. Those are days gone by. You can't do that anymore. You know, that was the thing, to sit on the porch. No more sitting on the porch. You can't. You can get shot, robbed, all types of crazy stuff, you know. And it's a long time coming to get to where it is now, Mark. And it started, believe it or not, this has been in the making for decades. I remember being in school, and they would have timeouts, and the teachers would have counselors there, and they would tell us that it's not okay for your mom or a parent to, they would call it a spanking. And if they do, you let us know, and we're going to take care of it. And they started programming kids in the 70s that, you know, your mom isn't supposed to spank you. And, you know, and that this is where we are. You know, you can't chastise your children. And now these kids, and then I think drugs had a lot to do with it too. The 80s babies, it's not so much as the 70s babies, it's 80s and on, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And drugs has a lot to do with it. A lot of these kids are neurologically messed up. It's real. A lot of them were born addicted to drugs, and now they're taking the drugs, the pills, you know, and no telling what else they taking. But you add that on top of being born addicted to drugs, and then they grow up and start experimenting with drugs, and this is the result. This is what it is. And then you pile on top of that being programmed that nobody can make you do anything. You don't have to listen. You don't have to do anything. And it's just, this is where we are now. You know, this is where it's at. You can't say anything to anybody. You can't correct a child. You know, you can't say anything. That's trying to have a DCFS case.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think is going to have to be done to curb this type of behavior? It's got out of hand. I'm be honest with you, and I could blame the grandparents. I could blame some of the parents, the teachers. It's a lot of people I can blame.
Well, it's time to start holding people, parents, guardians accountable. It's time out for just getting the children. You know, it's time to start holding the parents accountable too, because it starts at home. It does. You know, and I'm not just going by what I think. I have seen where parents have allowed their children to come in the house with expensive things that they know they didn't buy. So where is this child getting this stuff? And how come you're not questioning it? How come you don't know your kids' friends or where they're hanging out? Why don't you know these things? They're allowed to do too much. You know, these kids can tell their parent, I'm going outside. I wasn't, you can't, well, you're going outside. And they go. These kids do whatever they want.
Not mine.
I'm telling you, they do what they want, when they want, and how they want.
Not mine. See, parents, if you don't get them when they're young, it's too late. When you're trying to discipline 12 and 13 and 14, they stand at 6'1", 200 pounds, 180, all that. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Let me go to the next caller. Another caller. 912 area code. Come on, caller.
Hey, Martin, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Make it short and quick.
Oh, I am. The sister, I'm listening to her because she's on some facts. She mentioned something that people don't talk about. Neurological problems.
Mhm.
Go ahead, my brother. Go. Talk.
She needs to focus more on let the public know about them neurological problems because I'll go too long if I start talking about them. She can sum it up short. Preach, sister, preach.
We got another
Yeah, it's true.
we got another caller. Hold on. My favorite 900. Everybody
Hey,
get her
Martin.
everybody get her confused with Tiffany. Now that you guys believe me, Tiffany was on the line last night and she was 900 was on the line. So she's not Tiffany. I keep trying to tell
That's
you
right.
guys. For some reason, y'all, she takes a lot of heat as being Tiffany. I know they sound alike and I know they probably share some similar things, but she's not Tiffany at all. How you doing, my dear sister? Talk to us.
Hey, Martin. Yeah, I was getting ready to call in earlier, but I'm cooking right now, so
What you
calling
cooking?
in now.
What you cooking? Pork chops.
Oh, no, I'm fixing. I already made some salmon the other
Okay.
day, so I'm just heating it up, and I got me some grape tomatoes with a sliced avocado, and I got some mixed vegetables that I'm just heating up.
Oh, you trying to eat a little healthy there, huh?
Yeah, I take care of myself.
All
I eat
right.
healthy. Yeah,
All right now.
I eat real food.
Now they know they said you had no man and that, so they ain't none of their business.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I
Okay.
know it. I'm glad you learned how to ignore them, everybody. All right, come on, talk to us. What do you think? What's going on? I know you love talking about black issues, so come on. I'm giving you got a free range today. Come on, talk to us. Talk to us.
Okay, so I agree with what the other lady said. A lot of these kids, it's a new term going around. It's called neurodivergent or ND for short. But a lot of people are claiming that they are neurodivergent or their kid is neurodivergent. And I mostly hear like a lot of
Hold
saying,
on. Explain that to me. You know, I went to public school, so I don't know what that means. Neurodivergent. Help me out.
Well, I'm not really too sure what it means either. I did a quick Google search on what it means, and I'm still not really sure. But I guess I think it has to do with. I'm not even gonna try to guess. Like I said, I did research on it like once or twice. Did a quick kind of Google search to see was it like what was it. But I still don't really know what it is. But it has to do with, I guess, how your mind works.
Mm.
And I really think that a lot of this stuff is happening because of the screens and the screen time that these kids are on. Because think about it, from the time a lot of these kids are 2 years old, 18 months, 2 years old, the parents hand them a phone, they hand them an iPad, they're watching TV all day. So these kids, instead of how we grew up, where a lot of our interactions were pretty much all our interactions were in the face, interpersonal relationships, talking, eye contact, physical contact. These kids today, a lot of their interactions, especially from early on, they're through a screen. They're through devices, and their brain is being wired differently. And it's really affecting them because, like I mentioned.
Hold it. All right. Now, you say you're under 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you was a teenager, which is probably 15 years ago, 12, 7, 16, whatever, did you hear of anyone getting killed? Did you know of anyone having sex, doing drugs and alcohol around that age?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, my point is, the reason why I'm saying that is that I believe a lot of us, all of us, is probably on this live, somewhere or another, coming up as a teenager, we had sex, we smoked probably weed, drank alcohol. I'm saying these things that we probably done. So I don't want us to get on here as adults now, established adults, mature adults, like we didn't have nothing going on when we were teenagers. I'm just being honest. And I'm not saying that.
No, you're right.
We did some of these things that these young folks are doing right now. We don't talk about it. And that's why
the difference
go ahead.
The difference between us and them is that we were not born addicted to heroin and crack.
Some of us was.
So we were not being disturbed neurologically in the womb.
Some of us was.
No, there were no addicted babies to crack in 1972.
No, not it's 1972.
Crack wasn't even available then.
Right. Right.
Not crack, but opiates.
Yeah, but even then, it's a different, like I said, 80s and 90s. These mothers were, doing a lot of things, and it messed with the development of the fetus.
Right.
And I just believe that.
Okay. Hold it right there. I got another call.
Hey, think about it. When we was in our school age in the 70s, we weren't being diagnosed with ADHD. There was no such thing.
Okay.
We didn't have no medication to calm us down. It was called a whooping.
Yeah.
You would get a whooping.
But
hey, Martin,
wasn't no ADHD.
Hold it, Sarge. Come on.
Okay. I was going to read the definition to you. I just looked it up.
Okay, please do. You know I'm slow.
Okay. It says neurodivergence is a term when someone's brain processes, learns, and or behaves differently from what is considered typical, formerly considered a problem or abnormal. Scientists now understand that neurodivergence isn't inherently an issue for the individual and that it has a large societal benefit. Not all presentations of neurodivergence are a disability, like senescence, whatever that word is.
Okay. Hold it right there, Sarge.
All are a difference in how the brain works.
Okay, hold it right there. I got a couple of people that have been on hold for a minute. I want to get them real quick. I don't want to leave nobody on hold. I believe that's 1621. Come on, 1621. We're talking about crime today. What's your thoughts? Come on, 1621.
Hi, Martin. Could you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, Martin. I'm one of the parents of the young boy that killed the police officer.
Okay, you what?
I'm one of the parents.
Okay, one of the parents of what?
Of the young man who killed the police officer.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, all right, let's talk about it.
I have to say this, Martin. Okay, Martin, I have to say this. I'm just not saying my name or nothing, but I'm going to put my number in your inbox for you personally.
Okay.
I tried everything in the world to get help for my son that's on this case now. I tried everything. I begged the judge, Mark, to keep him locked up because his rap sheet speaks for itself. The judge told me I'm the only parent he ever saw in his courtroom for 5 years straight, begging him to keep this man, my son, locked up, Martin. He kept putting this young man on house arrest. He just got a case in August. Judge Shockey put my son on house arrest for a strong armed robbery and gave him 6 months. I did everything. I turned him in to the police station plenty of times. I put out flyers for him because he was running away. I put up $1,000 reward for him. I went to the police station. Everybody knows me very well in all these police stations.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the police station, Mark. I turned him in for the Red Lamb robbery. I turned him in. I did everything in the power that I thought I had to do. I called DC. They put DCFS in my business, Martin. They took them away, put DCFS in my business. I told DCFS. I told every police station. I told everybody, Martin. I got to talk to you on my own. I told everybody in the world that I needed help for my son. Judge Shockey gave this young man 6 months in August.
Okay.
And he got out, and he got right back out. But that ain't the first strong arm robbery, Martin. He got a rap sheet. I begged from him, from the caseworkers, from every caseworker they gave us, from the probation officer, from the police station to Judge Shockey. I tried my best. And look where it ended him up to, Mark. I'm not one of these parents that's trying to hop on the news and say, my son was out here terrorizing these people off the streets of Chicago. I told the judge this plenty of times. A million times. Since the age of 13, everybody know who I am because I spoke of this because I knew something bad was going to happen, and look where it led him to, Mark. I'm sorry.
Did you ever get it?
Sorry, Marcus. I got paperwork. I got a trail that I from the DCFS to the caseworkers to the police workers. Everybody know who I am because I begged for help for this young man. You hear me? I begged for it. I'm not this parent like, no, my son was out. He was out here terrorizing these people in Chicago. And the judge kept letting him out. His mouth speaks for itself. I'm a parent that was in there begging the judge to keep him locked up.
And let me ask you a question, Mother. What would you recommend any parent that's going through what you're going through, what you just been through, going through presently right now? How would you help them? How would you reach out to another parent? Because I'm quite sure there's many other parents having the same problem that you're having right now. What would you say to? Yeah.
I'm so scared to reach out because I'm in fear now because of the situation that he done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to talk to the young lady mother and things like that because I begged for help. My whole family know I begged for help. I've been begging for help for the last 5 years. When you look at his rap sheet, I just ain't saying his name, but when you look at his rap sheet, you would say yourself, what the hell he doing out on the street? This my child. I beg for this help right here. I'm not this parent that's saying, no, I'm this parent like, keep this motherfucker locked up so I can do my leg.
The system failed.
Hold on, brother. Hold it.
The system
brother.
I cried. Every caseworker he get a margin, they know me. 71st Street Police, they know me. 54th Street Police, they know me. Judge Shockey know me well. I'm not going to never forget that man's name. He told me, Marcy, he said, you're the only parent I ever saw in my courtroom for 5 years straight that ain't never missed a day. Don't think it's your fault, Mr. I can't say my name right now. Don't think it's your fault, such and such. But I begged him. I know it's not my fault. I'm just only doing what I'm supposed to do because he was still a child. So as me being a parent, I got to keep going to court. But I died inside. I went to a size 0 at 50 years old, Martin.
Wow.
Wow. I got a daughter that's going to graduate in college. I'm not no parent out here that don't give a hell. I care. I died inside. But I knew this was going to happen.
That's terrible.
I knew this was going to happen. I'm not going to never forget Judge Shockey name. Never. And at the Justice Center right here. I'm not going to never forget that.
That is terrible.
Chased them down, Watson. I went up. You can go down 79th Street. They would tell you. I put flyers up on 79th because I don't stay on 79th. I don't know nobody on 79th. I tried to find him. He had parents hiding him out. I had flyers up and down 79th. You can go on 79th, my dear, tell you for $1,000 reward. I was looking for this young man. He was running. He was hiding. He would see me pulling up money. He would take off running. He had grown people on 79th hiding him. One of the boys that he's on the case with, he been on the case. He been on this case. One of the boys that's on the case now, been on my son's case for 5 years. They rapping. His mama don't give a fuck, but I did.
Wow.
Lord, I went through hell. I lost so much weight, it was sad. After I almost lose my crib, my job, my whole job, what I done been through with this boy. If I didn't have a good boss, she would have been fired my ass.
Wow. That's terrible.
Then stress that woman out.
Yeah. Then let me ask you a question.
Where's the father?
Hold it. Hold it, y'all. Hold it.
Wait a minute. Let me clear this up. Let me clear this up. People know who the father is because my child's father, he made a post and everybody shared it. We're not going to try to go through all this. He got a good father. got a good father. We straight. He got a good father. His father got a good wife. His father got his mother still alive. His daddy still alive. My mama's still alive. My daughter in college finna graduate for her nursing degree next year. Listen, he chose this route, Marcus. He chose to do this. I was chasing him. People was laughing at me. He was taking off running, hopping fences and everything up and down city lights. But he had grown people cajoling him, had him up in their house and everything. Every Burger King on 79th, the restaurant across the street, the gas station, I had pluggers in there with his face shown. He's a runaway. He put him on house arrest 7 times.
Wow. Wow.
Jesus.
Do you blame Kim Fox for this or the judge?
You know what? I don't know how the system was really working. I just tried to beg the system to save my son. For 80 miles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really don't know. I was trying to ask the judge to help me save my son. But the judge was telling me he got to do what he got to do. But if you're going to keep letting him out, but I said this, I got to say this the right way. I explained to my son, Mr. Starkey is setting you up for failure, young man. You're going to get into trouble that you can't get up out of. You get what I'm saying, Mark? And look what he got himself into.
Let me say this to you, Mother. I want to commend you for coming on here, pouring out your heart. And I've talked to the father I've met the father.
Right. Me and my child's father, we great. We straight, Mark. We not no people that's out here doing drugs, doing this and doing that and doing all this and that. We living a good, happy life, man. Like I told my son, you get in some trouble. I'm 50 years old. You don't know what trouble you get in. Anything can happen to me out here. You know what I'm saying, Mark?
Right.
I'm 50.
Right.
You're still a child. Do you care?
What age did he start being rebellious?
At 13. I've been going to Judge Starkey Court since he was 13 years old. I've been going to that audience since he was 13.
Wow. What's the longest he ever stayed in Idaho?
He done been in and out. It's like a reversal door. Some Starkey put him on house arrest. He's gone again. Starkey put him on house. He just got Starkey put him on house arrest on the third. On the third, he gone. We don't see him. Me or his daddy. I done rode around neighborhoods. I done caught the bus before I got a car, riding around looking for him. They can't tell me that I didn't do what I'm supposed to do as being a parent. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do correctly. And he turned around and still did that.
Well, this is what I always tell parents. I always tell parents, you don't know what you're raising, just do the best you can. Because once our youngsters get away from around us, they have to make decisions on their own. And sometimes it may not be the decision.
He was making his own decisions because that me have to be at work at 6:37 in the morning. I come home one day, it's 15 niggas in my house. It's just me and him staying in the house. I got a 3-bedroom. This ain't no hangout house for no little kids. Like the kids that don't go to school. So he knew he couldn't get past me with nothing. It's rules and regulations where I stay at. I'm scared out here in these streets. You know, I got to still be comfortable where I stay at. It's only me. Ain't no little kids finna hang up in my house. Smoking finna do all this. They not finna do that. Not on my watch.
Well,
right, Martin.
Listen, I can't be mad at you. Just even you coming on here saying you tried. But I'm gonna tell you this, sister. Nobody can save us but us. I'm telling you. Nobody likes black people. They don't care. Even black people don't like black people. I'm telling you, just how we are. Listen, I could come on here and have a great talk show, talk about something that could be real helpful. They don't want to hear that. All they want to hear is violence, shooting and killing and arguing and fussing, see dead bodies. You know,
it took everything in my power not to call a lie. I just wanted to call a lie because I was listening to y'all talk. And it's just like, I got something to say too because I really did what I tried hard.
Wow.
Everything in me, I tried hard.
Well, a whole lot of guts to come on this live right there and just even say it. You know, I commend you that.
Yes, it did. Yes, it
I'm
did.
not really trying to hide nothing. You know,
Right.
I didn't do nothing. I
Right.
just want to make sure that I say what I know what I did. I thought everything I was doing was right. You know, like I told him, I'm 50 years old. You make that bed, you got to lay in that bed, baby.
Well, what I was saying earlier, you didn't hear me right. I've spoken to the father of the police officer, you know, and but if you ever want to talk to him, I could set that up for you.
I do.
Okay, I could set that up for you.
I do because I don't want to wait for the last minute. I don't want to wait for the last minute. Don't talk to the mom or the dad or nothing like that because I feel sorry for them, you know.
And you
I
should.
want her to know, like she said, she feels sorry for these kids. I wanted her to know I tried my best with that motherfucker.
And that's all you could do when you do your best. That's all you can. What more can you do when you do your best? You know, and that's why these young parents.
He's on the train robbing people. I went to the police station and turned them in. They asked me, "How do I know that's him?" I said, "That's my son. I brought that jacket."
Wow.
Man.
Wow. This is deep.
Man.
This is deep here. This is deep.
It is.
This is so deep.
That's
and let me just say,
mother that the system failed.
Right. No, hold on, brother. Let me say this. It's not the system job to save our children. It's our job as parents, as Black people. We have to surround each other. The system is only going to do so much. Let me say that, bro. So much. Now, if a police can shoot a Black man or beat him up and their own parents can't whoop him, what that tell you? What does that tell you?
That's it.
What that tells you?
Says that the system is failing.
Yeah.
But but I think what Sarge is trying to say by failing is that there's no resources and programs to put these people in an environment where it's controlled, where they get therapy and the help.
Hold it, y'all. The system is doing what it's supposed to do. The system is not designed. Hold on. This system is not designed to save Black people. This system goes against everything that we try to do positive. It pushes up against us. Here's a mother right now. Ask the judge to keep her son in custody, but he continued to put him on house arrest. And knowing this repetitive behavior. You hear me? Come on. This man was not only
Is the judge Black or white?
He's white. I know who he is.
He's white, man.
I know exactly who he is.
Oh, wow.
I know exactly who he is.
Wow.
Trust me. Trust me. And see, listen, I guarantee you this.
Man, I got to say this because I ain't going to really hold y'all up, but I want to speak about this part too. Judge Shockey took my son away to another state last year, before the last case. We got the back. He escaped from there.
Lord.
Came back to Chicago. When the police called him, Judge Shockey put him back on house arrest, Marshall.
That judge got to go. We vote him in. We vote the judge in.
Listen, one mic, people. One mic. I want to hear one person talking. This is our dear sister. Come on, sister. Yeah. So
took him out of town to another institution, a detention center. He escaped and came back here. When he got caught, Judge Shockey put him back on house arrest.
Wow. Oof. Okay. All right, sister. Oof. I tell you.
All right, Mom. I'm not gonna hold you.
I got your number. I hit you up.
Okay.
I got your number. Appreciate you. All right.
All right.
I'm sorry, I got another call. I got two more callers. Hey, I think that's Reb the Barber, 6112. 6112.
Yeah, hey, Mark. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, you got to talk a little loud, bro.
I'm just mad. Right now, I'm mind blown.
Yeah, you got to talk a little louder, brother. A little louder for me.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty much mind blown off of the fact of that mother is crazy. I didn't know that happened in the court system. I thought they was always trying to keep our kids locked up. But it reminds me of a young man who never had the opportunity to even graduate elementary school, 8th grade, because his mother, you know what I'm saying, she was literally looking for the help, you know what I'm saying, single and everything like that. And they kept on just sending him back, putting him on house arrest. He get caught with stealing cars, police catch him every single time, flipping cars. They put him back on house arrest. Now he's locked up at the age where he's an adult now. So now they can just put him away. And it's so right, Martin, people got to understand it's not that they're not doing their job in that system. That system is designed to do exactly what it is that it's doing. Now, the thing that I believe with Kim Foxx, when you don't bring, as a police officer of this city, correct information based on the arrest that you made, you know what I'm saying? You're not giving the law what the law needs to due process. And that's a lot of things that she was sitting up there and she was dealing with. And then the pettiness of that, you know what I'm saying, when it came to her locking people up, you know what I'm saying, just look at all of the crookedness. The marijuana now, which is legal, now you have to take all the cases away. So we ask this question about crime. Crime is going to continue to be crime because crime is going to continue to pay the pockets of those that invest in it. Along with this system, it's like we're at the point now. It's like we have to do something to pretty much separate ourselves, you know, and gain sovereignty within ourselves. You know, those kids that's out there, man. The young man that got killed, the 14-year-old, the other young man that got locked up, that was locked up for the attempt murder on the police just this past week. I know both of their fathers. One of the fathers passed away some years ago, but at the same time, the fathers grew up together. And now you have one side fighting with the other side, and just so happened the son of one of the fathers that come from the side that both fathers come from ended up living down there on the opposite territory. Now look at the life of that young man on his birthday, but he wasn't innocent neither. We got all these organizations out here. Everybody's out here, and everybody's getting $1. You know, people tell me, man, just get in and get the money. No, that's not what my heart is, to just get in and get the money when you got kids out here dying. But what I do my best, even for the young man that's locked up. I go out there, create jobs, and I give jobs. But when it comes to this crime, it's like no answer to what's going on. But only thing we can do, one by one, whatever kid listen, that's who we're going to have to grab, is just consistently pay that attention to, pay that mind to, you know, and continue to take one day at a time and going forward, because we're dealing with a lot of stuff in this nation, not only in Chicago. Chicago, I just believe, is just a platform for everything else that will be influenced off of it, you know, and it's starting with our children, you know, so it's kind of hard to understand a mother like that and hearing that a judge will continue to say, hey, we don't care about your child. We don't care about helping you, and just, hey, you the mama, and place the child right back. It's all set up. Maybe if she had to sit up there and kill them, they would have been happy and didn't lock her up. Maybe if he had to sit up there and harm her, everybody would have been happy, because every time they let that boy right back into her hand.
Let me say something. And I want to say this to the mothers. I think I got this book. Listen, if you waiting on white folks to say your sons and your daughters, it's not going to happen. Trust me. Now, I guarantee you that mother, if she had lived downtown or Lincoln Park, I guarantee you that young man that did that shooting at the police, that police was involved in that shooting, will still be in the Idaho home right now. But as long as these young criminals, habitual criminals, coming back to these certain zip codes, it's okay. And y'all, I don't know how y'all look at me, but I'm telling you, as long as crime is on the south and west side, and Inglewood, Lawndale, Roseland, and Woodlawn, South Shore, all these little Chatham, It's okay. It's acceptable. We understand it. That's normal. But don't bring that out here in Oakland or Blue Island or Hyde Park or even the new Bronzeville, downtown, South Loop, West Loop. Don't bring that down here. I guarantee you, if mom had a different address in some of those affluent communities, he'd have been locked up. Trust me. They're not going to tolerate that. Trust me. People, it's all a conspiracy. That judge knew that young man had a problem. The judge knew that mom was crying out. But it's not his job to save that young boy. See, the courthouse is not a ministry. See, a ministry, they'll get on their knees and pray with you and pray for you. The courthouse is a place of business. It's a system. And they in the business of convicting people, locking them up, putting them on house arrest or whatever. That's their job. It's not a ministry. That's not their job to save our young people. People, let's stop throwing our young people to these other people, races of people to save. We got to get together and surround ourselves with like-minded parents. And be honest. Listen, my son is off the chain. I'm afraid of him. I can't do nothing with him. I'm just afraid of him. But parents won't admit that. I got to tell the truth,
Lauren.
people. I'm talking, ma'am. I got to tell the truth. A lot of parents are afraid of their children. And a lot of parents are in denial of what their children are out here doing. Don't want to believe it. Don't want to believe it. That little bitty old baby that you hold in your arm, you didn't know one day he or she was going to be a demon. You just don't know what you're raising. You just have to do the best you can. Because when we are not around our parents, I'm speaking as a teenager, there's no telling what we may get involved in. He or she. Who wants to believe that their daughter out here tricking off with grown men and she only 15? Who wants to believe that their daughter doing things like that? Who wants to believe that their 13 and 14-year-old son out here robbing people and killing people? No parent want to believe that. No parent want to believe that. But it's real. It's happening. And a lot of people look at these live videos, these crime scenes as entertainment. It's no longer entertainment when your loved one is laying on the pavement or the victim. But until then, it's entertainment. That's what it is to some of us. If you don't know the name, it's entertainment. Right now, I always say as I speak, somebody's loading up a gun ready to shoot somebody tonight. They purchased a new gun and they ready. They're waiting on one negative reaction. A social media beef. They waiting on you to cut them off while they're driving, or they waiting on you to mean mug them, or they waiting on something to justify in their little mind to inflict pain on you and might even cause death to you. And any young person that's listening to this live, and I want you to look me in my eyes, just as much as you ready to kill, you better be ready to die. It can go either way. Some folks are not going. Some people, you have to kill them before you take something from them. They are willing to accept death, and they also are willing to kill as well. So you have to be careful. All right, young lady, go ahead.
I was going to say, why, if she is asking them, begging them to lock her son up, why, and you said they're in the business of locking people up, why wouldn't they lock him up?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me just... Hold on, brother. Let me answer a question real quick. Let me ask you a question. Everybody don't know what the purpose of the courthouse is for. I'm telling you. First of all, they don't know. They're naive to the system. They in the business of putting people locking up.
Funding.
House arrest is a form of being locked up. It's under home confinement. You're not really mobile. You have like a curfew. You have a time to be in, you have a time to leave, and time to report back to be in the house. So a lot of people don't believe that. They don't know that. They don't know that. Trust me. Just like the hospital. The hospital is in the business to make money. They are not a ministry. Listen, once they find out that you don't have no insurance, they're going to patch you up and send you home to heal. They're not in the business to waste money. They're in the business to make money. It's a business. It's not a ministry. It's a business. So that's my answer. Go ahead, my brother. You want to say something, then I go to my next caller.
Yeah, it was some that I was the way I was going to explain it. It's a brand, and they have different departments. You got locked up from city jails to state prisons to federal jails. You got probation, you got parole, you got house arrest, you got juvenile detention and house arrest in the cases. So they're brands, and like Marvin was saying, it's $1 off of every single one. Probation officers get paid, parole officers get paid, and in the case of so many cases that's going on inside the jail, they could just sit back and continue to collect dollars and put the case in whatever file or category they want, because no matter what, it's going to make money. That's the conspiracy of it right there. Even if it takes to the point where life is lost out there, because of the stipulations of the laws, if you catch a murder, the judge's going to make money to give you that time. But this young man out there was catching petty crimes, theft crimes, stealing crimes, things like that, up until the point now he killed a police officer. And the sad part about it, you ask a question, do they care about the life of the officer really that died behind that? Because there's still dollars behind it. And they just have many different ways of making their dollars. And that's what it's all about.
All right. Let's go to the next caller, 5625. Go ahead, caller. I know you itching. Go ahead, caller. Come on, mama.
Hey, Martin.
How you doing?
Hey, Martin.
How you doing?
So here's the hit. Did you hear how many times that mother said that judge name?
Mm-hmm.
We vote the judges in. He didn't give no care about her son. And she's been there pleading and pleading. But what we don't do as Black people, we don't understand. We got a right to take him off that bench. Because he did not. House arrest is a setup. They already know they're going to get back in more trouble. It's about our voting right. We vote for judges. I called you a couple of months ago. My son, child support, this judge wanted him to come up with $8,000. And I called you, and you answered, and we talked.
I remember.
But here's the thing.
I remember.
We got to understand. Those that was a Black judge, and she repeated his name. She know his name like a book. And you know what? Every 4 years, we vote for them. He should have been off that bench because he didn't care about none of these. He don't care about. He kept giving him house arrest. He letting everything pile up on this baby until he do what he did.
But is it?
I don't know.
Okay, Martin, I'm hopping off. Good night, Martin.
Good night. Yeah. Is it the judge fault that he should, he should have locked him up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be, baby. And when you got a mama saying, "Help my baby, help my baby," and you keep giving him house arrest, sending him back home. But when he killed that cop, he didn't let his ass go, did he? I'm sorry. I'm saying we, Martin.
Okay.
Well,
let me ask you guys. Any one of you guys on the panel, any one of you can answer this question. What do you think the courthouse is made up for?
We vote them in. I don't know.
What are they made up
They're in
for?
for the money. It's money.
No.
It's all about
Exactly.
generating money.
They
The more
make
time that
money.
goes on, the more funding that the state gets for, funding police and all those things. Passing more bills. We need more money. War against drugs, war against crime, war against guns. It's all about money. They need for this stuff to keep happening.
Can I say something?
We need to be aware of what the black judges is doing in our community. That was wrong.
Hold it, y'all. Hold it.
Let me say.
Now, hold it one second. Hold it one second. I got a new call. I want to get this. No, I don't like to leave the callers on hold too long. 9031. Then we can come back to that question. 9031. Look like he hung up. Okay, go ahead, caller. He hung up, y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me say, the courts, the rule of law has to be, if there was no law and administration, then it'd be chaos all around the world. So we put this cloud of system up, which we call the court. Now, though the courts may have intended to enforce and administrate the laws, don't mean that once you put that suit on and sit in a place to have authority in there, that you're going to be a man and do the right thing. See, we got to understand, we got men behind these benches dressed inside these gowns that consider themselves to be the law because they're judges. So judges needed in the world, courthouses and administrations needed in the world, but the people that wear the robe and sit behind the benches is not needed in the world.
We vote them in, though.
And yeah, true. But who really gonna vote them out? Who really cares? So that falls back on us also.
That's sad. Yeah. This woman knows that judge's name. Period.
She only knows the judge's name because her son been in front of the judge 7 times. That's the only reason why she knows the judge's name.
But he's been coming 7 times. But we, as a black people, did not know that this man was doing that. You think that ain't the first child that he did? A young black child, a young black mama that been reaching out to a judge, helping her baby.
How many judges we know? Personally, I can tell you I know none. How many judges we know?
Period. So you don't know who you voting for.
Well, let me just.
That's why they still.
Well, hold it, sister.
That's why they still.
Let me just say something. Some judges are not voted in; they are appointed. Some are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that. I just want to keep it. Some judges are appointed.
And I don't vote for judges.
Yeah, right. I just want to let you know, guys.
Now, Martin, what's not being looked at is the economics of it all. That's further keeping Black America financially disenfranchised.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember at one time, in order to be on house arrest, they had to have a phone in the house.
Yep, I remember that.
Yep.
And they had to have them boxes that look like VCRs. You know it's a charge for all of that.
Yes, it is.
It's a charge for all of that. So now they're doing it cellularly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So telecommunications companies are getting paid off this because the more people you have on house arrest with that ankle bracelet to be monitored, the more government funds are going to go to that state, which is going to get disseminated.
Somebody need to put their phone on mute. Somebody need to put their phone on mute.
Yeah.
All right, go
I don't
ahead,
know if they're talking to us or somebody else.
Go ahead.
Now, check this out. Now, I'm gonna be brief.
Go ahead. I got to grab me with
It
something
costs for it costs for the cellular, right?
Right.
That service. So it's a fee for that. That fee gets passed on the city, which gets passed on to the state, which gets passed on to the government, that gets doggone funding from the government to the state, to the city. And they upcharge it. Just look at how much they charge. If somebody calls you from jail and you accept that collect phone call, they charging you $1 a minute or more for a conversation.
No. $2.99. $2.99.
Thank you. Didn't I did say or more because I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
So you figure $3 a minute. You talk to them 10 minutes. That's my monthly phone bill. As cheap as my phone is, it don't want to act right. I got to restart the call.
I'm cutting you off.
Okay.
But I'm just
All
saying.
right. Hold it, y'all. Hold it right there.
No,
No, ma'am, ma'am.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. 9031, call back. Come on, 9031. And I got another call after him. Come on, caller. 9031.
This is Renee.
This is who?
Hi, Martin. This is Renee calling in.
Hey, Renee. Thank you for
calling in.
Come on, Renee.
Hey, I just want to say something that
Go ahead.
Something that I've said before, and that is those who are registered voters, and that's another issue that we have in the Black community, is that people are not registered to vote. One of the things you do when time comes for people to be elected as judges is that the American Bar Association, and I believe it's the Illinois Legal Council or something like that, they put out a list of judges who are qualified, not qualified, or there's another category of what they're selected for. And the reason why they put out the list is because they send out information to attorneys and they ask those attorneys about those judges. Do they know the law? Do they show up to court on time? If someone says that a judge is not qualified and that person is an officer of the court, which means they're an attorney, and an officer of the court is telling people, don't vote for this judge because they're not qualified, we have people who are either not paying attention to what is put out every year.
That's all I'm saying.
And we are part of the problem. So we need to start addressing why we're part of the problem. We're not registered voters. We don't pay attention to what officers of the court who say, no, this person shows up late. They don't know the law. Okay. Those are people you don't elect. So until we get that in our minds, and I will more than happy send you that link, Martin, every time it comes out so that you can share it with people on your platform. We're the ones who have got to make the change. The other thing someone else posted in the comment section regarding the mother, and I mean, I felt her. I have so much sympathy for her and I feel for her. And that person is absolutely right. Why aren't the police officers upset with this judge that was mentioned? Usually the Fraternal Order of Police, that gentleman, I forgot his name, and I don't particularly care for him. He's always out in the forefront talking about judges, talking about this. Why hasn't that judge been mentioned?
And that's all I was saying.
So, unfortunately, it's a sad situation, but usually in court, they don't give you the opportunity to say, no, keep somebody locked up, keep somebody locked up. They don't have that type of time to allow a family member to address a judge. House arrest is only for someone to be on house arrest until their court date comes up. What people forget is that the current governor, under his last term, enacted a law, I think it was under the Safety Act, that allowed people who were under house arrest to go 2 days without being monitored. You know what happened during that time? More crimes were committed by those people who were on house arrest. So those are things that we need to be looking at instead of going out and voting in platforms and in record numbers to legalize marijuana. Cut it out. It's time, and I don't want to curse like I want to get you thrown off. What I'm saying is we also as a society need to start getting our act together. People are right. People are right in your feed, Martin. We need to be held accountable. Back in the day when we were kids, the light came on. The moment you heard the flickering, you were in the house. Children don't belong in adult conversation. Period. A child belongs with a child. Those parents, I don't want to hear anything about there are no jobs. There are jobs left and right out here. If you got to work 2 jobs, work 2 jobs. There are plenty of us doing it. Where there's a will, there's a way. Let me tell you something. My father stood up to gangs. And I guarantee you, when I wanted to be in a gang, my dad gave me 2 options. And I didn't join a gang because I believed him on the first option. And we as a community have got to come together. And people who think it's cute and funny to be twerking like they were last weekend at 1 a.m. in the morning on police cars and everybody else's cars, you know what? At some point, there has to be a change where somebody says, you know what? This shit ain't even funny anymore.
Okay.
So, Mom, can I say
No, you
sister,
can't.
I'm
No,
so
no,
glad
no,
you-
no, no. I
Okay.
got two other
I just want to
callers.
thank her about the lawyer. But I
Listen.
just want to say thank you
Okay,
about the lawyer,
okay.
about the
Listen,
judge.
ma'am. I'm not gonna ask you one more time. You got a
I'm
bad
not
habit.
arguing with you.
You got a bad habit of just jumping on. You're not arguing with me, but you got a bad not respecting it. You know, put some respect on his
I
name.
do, but I just want
No,
to
you
do a
don't.
rebuttal.
No, you don't.
Always
No, you
respect
don't.
you.
Oh, have mercy.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you. I know what I'm gonna do. All right. Go on the next caller. 9168. Come on. 9168.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Martin. I love everything that everybody's saying. I just wanted to add something that we have not thought about, and I'll start because that mother was my mother. My mother was that mother, and I always, when we talk, we always talk about in the 90s, how my brother was in and out of the prison system since he was 11 to 14. And everything he accomplished from 11 to 18 was inside of the jail. My mother stood in front of the judge year and after year to keep him in jail because she knew the next step he was going to be dead. When he got out of jail at age 18 in June of 2020, by August, he was dead.
Lord have
He
mercy.
didn't live 3 months after that. So I'm not talking from no experience. I feel the story of that lady because I was the sibling who lost my brother from that same story. And my mother had to stand up in front of the judge from juvenile detention centers in Joliet all the way to his grave. Okay? So when I tell you this is the only solution that I believe that Black parents have to do because we're not taking accountability until they at the grave. We want to cry at the grave, and I'm not saying no problem with that young lady, but we got to go in her story. Yes, her story is true. It's true. However, we got to get these kids. The system is actually started at school.
Yeah,
When they're in grammar school. Y'all not talking about grammar school. These beds are decided at 3rd grade. Who's going to be in jail from what area code at what schools?
I think it's 4th
My
grade.
mother was a teacher in Chicago. It's 3rd grade, Aaron. It's 3rd grade, Martin.
I thought it was
We
4th.
take
Okay.
the 3rd grade. They take the 3rd grade test scores.
Because I thought it was the 4th.
Because they're going off who can read.
Okay.
They're going off who can read.
I
Those
know it, but
test
I
scores
thought it was
is
the
telling
4th.
you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. I
And they
understand.
taking those test scores and they're saying how many jail beds we need. So we need a revolution from single parents. They are keeping, my mother was a single parent. They keeping the single parents out of, because they're keeping you at work. See, that's the thing we fell for. When we left our husbands, and while a lot of women want to say we don't need no man,
Tell the truth.
we leaving
and
our
shame the
kids.
devil.
We leaving our kids to be raised by the enemy in that school. We need our parents to keep these kids out of the school and raise our kids at home. I have not seen nothing happen to parents who homeschool their kids. There was a revolution during that pandemic. A lot of those Black parents had no other choice but to pull their kids out of them schools. We need a revolution where we pull them kids out of CPS because they getting dollars for your kids. They get money at the school level. Every child, that's why they be talking about every week, their first days, we need your kids to come to school. You got to start at the school level. They won't get no money, baby. The system starts at elementary, kindergarten, Until you talk about that, you're not taking accountability what your child is learning. Because if Johnny can't read, and it's a threat after these black boys, they want them more than them girls. These girls doing wrong too, but they want your son. And the devil don't like your son to know how to read. And I worked in the schools, and you should see how much disparity they already talk about your kids. Some parents and teachers dog your kids out, and some of them look like us.
Mm.
Come on, tell the truth.
So until you start telling the truth, that we gonna go get these kids, how many kids do have to die? She's not the only parent that dealt with this shit. This shit been going on since the 90s and 80s when they broke the man and the woman out the house. But don't nobody want to talk about why you need a man. Because I can tell you, my granddaddy, who would be 103 years old, he was in the house with his 7 kids, and not one of them kids died on the streets of Chicago, and he was living in Inglewood. So don't tell me what the hell a mother and a father can do. We didn't have these goddamn issues where our kids was laying out on the street dead. So Martin, it's the only reason I got on this thing tonight, because I felt that mother pain. But we don't want to talk about the fact that we at work and we ain't at home raising these kids and pulling their ass out of these goddamn white man school. That's the accountability we need.
I've been saying it.
So I felt my mother pain.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not, that ain't my mama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I feel this lady pain because she got to keep talking, and we got to pull these kids out. Y'all got to stop playing around. On the same point, we got to go to the school level. We losing our kids at 11. That's too young. All these robberies and shit, these kids is young. But we ain't talking about that school that don't like your son. That's why his ass doing that. And about them friends here around. You can talk about them all day. You can be loving to them all day at home. But if they friend is doing all this shit, they don't do it. They follow us.
That's it. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Thank you so much, sister.
You said it.
Thank you. I got another caller. Actually, I got two more callers. Thank you so much. You can hold on if you want. Not, it's okay.
Okay.
5378. 5378.
Hey, hello. How's it going there, Martin G? How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm glad to be living in the land of the living. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, sir. Yeah, I saw you and met you first at the city council meeting on that day when they had all those trouble with the migrant issues.
Yes.
That day.
I got to answer the door. Go ahead. Keep talking. I got to step away from the desk, but keep talking.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try to make my little comment. Came in a little bit late on the conversation, but what I would like to say is that I think one of the main things that's going on right now with policing and the courts is that the political demagogues have taken the police and the court situation, and they have taken they've taken a sledgehammer to a problem that requires fly swatter. Let me explain what I mean by that right quick.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that they have taken legislative liberties with trying to appease the crowd and the voting public in such a way where try to make it busy work. It's like they want to make it seem like they're doing something with crime. They want to make it seem like they're doing something with the police, but all they're doing is just destroying the police department and taking away the authority from the police department in the name of freedom, justice, and equality. The problem is that they're doing exactly the reverse of what needs to be done. The police department needs to have authority to operate. And at the same time, the court is taking, let me
ask you a question. Hold it right there. It's something I'm not in agreement with you. What do you mean about the police need to take authority? Explain yourself to me.
Okay, well, here's the situation. I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
You let me explain. What I'm saying is that you have a situation where you do have bad and horrible racist cops, but that is not the norm for the police department. That is propaganda.
No, sir.
Okay?
No, sir. No,
yes,
sir.
it is. Yes, it is.
Sir.
That is propaganda.
Sir.
Now, allow me to finish. Okay, don't cut me off. Let me finish.
Let him talk. Let him talk. I'm going
to
get him.
Let me finish. All right. Now, what I'm saying is that because I'm a black man, and I've experienced a lot of this for myself, where I can't get effective policing in my own neighborhood because police are afraid to operate properly in my neighborhood, and I become a victim.
And they should be.
I become a victim of crime because police can't and won't enforce the law. I am the one who gets sent to jail trying to defend my own property.
Sir.
Oh, yeah.
Sir.
I'm trying to tell you, there's a different perspective other than the woke narrative that we're living right now.
Let me ask you a question. I need you to pause. I need you to pause for a minute. How long you been in the city of Chicago?
Go ahead.
How long you been living here in the city of Chicago?
I've been in the city of Chicago all my life.
Okay, I'm asking a question. Don't shoot me now. Don't shoot me. Now, this is where I'm going with this. Do you ever recall that the Chicago police that shot and killed Fred Hampton and them, did you recall about that? Was you around?
Of course.
Okay. Now,
you know what? Obviously, I was a shorty.
Okay. Well, hold it. I'm bringing some things. Just hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. Now, do you recall when a police commander named John Burge that was putting cases
back in the 80s?
Right. Okay. We talking about Chicago police now. When other black police officers turned their back on this, never said nothing. And the Mayor Daley, he was the state's prosecuting attorney, I think, state's attorney too, during that time. Now, listen, I'm telling you, the police, the Chicago police, have never, ever treated black people fairly under the law. Never. You know that, and I know that. And listen,
and it still ain't happening
hold on,
now.
sir. It's a crime when a Chicago police officer don't do his job. It's a crime. And what I mean by that is, what I mean by this is, if they go on a call and you have been assaulted, you are a victim, and you point out your accuser and the police don't arrest them because they're too lazy to do some paperwork, that's a police crime. That's a police. When a police officer falsely arrests you, that's a police crime. And trust me, I am not anti-police. I believe that we should have law and order. I believe it. But it's a lot of ways that the Chicago police have failed the community, the taxpayer community. They see these guys out here selling drugs every day in the same spot and don't do anything about it. Every day. You can ride up down Madison and Pulaski. Guys, it's holding up drugs like it's a free drug open air market. And some of these communities on the south side, those are police crimes. That's what they're. You're coming to work, you're getting paid for not doing nothing. That's what I'm talking about. And you shooting young black men unarmed because you feared for your life or you thought he had a gun. Why is it that the white police officers do things different from the black police officers in the black community. You have to ask yourself, they do the same training. They work for the same station, the same department. Why is it that we always going to have these police misconduct, brutality signs as long as some of these white racist officers do what they do in the black community? And if a person is racist, I'm gonna let you talk after this. If an officer is racist and he's patrolling the community, do you expect a racist officer to do his job for people that he don't like and he hate and don't see them as less than? It's not going to happen. And I'm going to let you talk, sir. Thank you for being so patient and listening to me. Go ahead, sir.
No problem. I understand, and I do agree with a lot of the stuff that you're saying right now. But here's the point I'm trying to make, and I'm going to try to make it brief, and I know you got to move on. Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to say is that narrative many times is very true, but it unfortunately has been overinflated and conflated and is turned into propaganda and is turned into a way to create a voting platform of people who simply won't think for themselves. They will simply listen to sound bites and propaganda, and then that's how the political demagogues sell us down the river, getting us to vote for them based on our feelings without thinking and using our brains. Sir, with all due respect, I say that I personally gone through situations where cops are not my favorite people, but they are the people that you call when the shit is hitting the fan. And all I'm trying to say is that it's the government and the laws that have forced police, good police. Okay, we know that's what I mean about the sledgehammer and the fly swatter. We need a fly swatter to swat the bad racist cops to deal with them MFs. But you don't take a sledgehammer and wreck the entire police department. And that is what the political establishment has been doing in the name of buying votes. And I believe I'm hitting on that 100% correct. And all I'm trying to say is that we need to start recognizing that and calling it out. And hopefully, or our mayor and whoever these government officials are will begin to recognize this. And if we hold them accountable, then the improvements will take place. But we have to stop all of this operating off of a feeling and constantly calling out racism where it's not racism, where it's bad policy.
Sir.
Often it's bad policy.
Sir.
Often it's bad policy. This is not 1960.
Sir.
This is not 1963. This is 2023.
Sir.
This is 2023, not 1963.
Sir, let me say something.
Go ahead.
You have racist policies, sir. Frisk and stop. That's a racist policy, brother. You have racist policy. Okay, policies are racist.
But are you understanding my point?
I understand what you're saying, sir.
Point.
I understand, but I want you to know that. Come on now.
All right.
Come on now. Listen.
All right.
Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that, and I hear you. I hear you.
All right.
But we have racist policies. Why is it that when a black man have a gun, there's no negotiation? It's shoot first and ask questions later. When a white person have a gun, you reason with them. You tarry with them. That's still happening. We're not in the 60s, brother. Racism is alive and well in the department. Let me ask you.
Why is it that okay.
Let me
can I ask you a question right quickly?
Yeah, you can ask me a question. Go ahead. Go ask me a question.
Here's the question I want to ask you, because I have not only have I personally experienced certain situations myself in having problems with police operating effectively, and then I have situations where I am a victim and I'm about to be arrested, and I'm actually a victim.
What's your question, sir?
And the thing is, I want to say is that I can't understand why you are not. Here's my question: is why you are not able to see that the government, in many ways, are very much socialist, very much leaning so far towards communism. It ain't funny.
Okay.
And what I'm asking you is why you're not able to see this, that we're trying to be progressive, but we're actually regressing. And that's what I'm trying to say to you, that this is not 1963, this is 2023.
Sir.
And what's happening now, yes, there is racism, and we got to deal with it.
Sir.
We got to deal with it. But the problem is that we're using racism as an excuse.
Brother. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, sir.
Yes, we are. We're using racism as an excuse.
Sir, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Mediocrity.
Sir, let me ask you a question. What is the purpose of body cameras? Why Chicago police? Because what? Tell me why.
Because of overzealous police officers. But now it's gotten so much to the point where police officers are afraid to do their job now.
Sir, hold it right there.
They're afraid to do their job.
Sir, you just answered your question. Y'all put your phone on mute, please. Please, you just answered my question. The reason why
I know, but you didn't the second part of what I said. I said the police officers are afraid to do their job. Good officers are afraid to do their job.
No.
Yes, they are.
No,
that's not what it is.
No, that's not what it is.
Can I say something?
I've experienced it myself. I've experienced it for myself.
Can I say something?
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, go ahead, sister.
First of all, I don't know where this man has been, but I remember, and you will, excuse me, sir, I'm talking. Thank you. Back in the 80s, excuse me, back in the 80s, all the way up into the 2000s, we used to see them paddy wagons rocking. The only reason, police are not afraid to do their job, sir. Police don't want to be caught doing what they've been getting away with. Okay? That's what it is. Back in the 80s, when they used to be sitting up, beating the mess out of folks. I mean, putting on them leather sand gloves, stomping and kicking. I have been standing there on the street.
What period of time?
Watching. I said it in the beginning. Please do not interrupt me.
No, what? I'm asking you. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm asking you to.
Excuse me. I'm not finished. I said it in the beginning.
Sir, let her talk.
I said it in the beginning, 80s and 90s.
Sir,
excuse me. I'm talking.
Hold it. Let me calm him down.
I'm talking. In the 80s and 90s, we would see these paddy wagons rocking back and forth. I have stood there and watched these officers get in the back of these paddy wagons and come out drenched in sweat from beating people almost to death. Okay, making men pull their pants down in front of children and showing their penises and making them bend over and spread their butt cheeks and all types of things. So you're not going to sit up here and say that police are afraid to do their job. Police know that everybody has a camera phone and that they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to get in trouble.
And as a result, many good officers don't do their job. And we want to deal with the bad cops. So I go back to what I was saying about the fly swatter and the sledgehammer. You don't take a sledgehammer to a police department when a fly swatter is necessary to swat flies, who swat the bad cops the terrible bad cops that are doing the bad thing.
Well, like what?
You don't wreck the
hold it right
entire
there.
police
All of
department.
them bad when they turn their
Let me
faces
get-
and don't say
sister,
nothing.
Sister,
They're all the
hold
same.
on. Let me take it from
No,
here.
they're not.
Hold on,
No, they're
brother.
not.
Hold on, brother. Let me say
Go ahead,
something.
go ahead.
Let me
Yes,
just
sir.
say
Yes,
this.
sir.
Let me say this. Somebody need to turn their phone and put it on mute because I hear some feedback. Put your phone on mute, people. You still can hear. All right, listen.
Yes, sir.
Sir, this is what I want to ask you a question, though. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Now, explain to me what's a bad cop. I need to know the definition of a bad cop in your own words.
Okay, well, that's very obvious. That's very obvious.
No, you tell me. You tell me.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and I'm gonna go right to what the lady was just saying. What the lady was just accurately describing. Those are bad cops.
What? You tell me, sir.
And
I need you to tell me.
The ones
sir.
the ones that ended.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to tell you, the ones that indiscriminately go around pulling people over for no doggone reason, just because they look at the car and they see who's driving and they see somebody with dreads or this dark skin, and they just want to F with them. Those are bad cops. You just go in breaking the rules of search and seizure. Those are bad cops. And we have them, but the problem is that I still say the truth is a lot of what's going on now is a lot of propaganda and over-inflating and over-conflating the bad cop situation.
Let me say this to you, too.
And,
I want to say this to you, then I'm going to let you talk again. Hold it.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that Chicago Police Department have the highest rate of police suicide in the country? Do you know that?
All right. Well, no, I didn't really know that, but I don't understand the reason behind that. But go ahead and explain it.
So what I'm saying is, the police here in the city of Chicago are killing themselves, and I can't tell you why. I don't know why, and I'm not going to sit up and pretend like I have that answer.
Speculate why.
I'm not even going to speculate.
I have a perspective. I don't know. I don't know, but I can speculate.
Okay. Well, if you want to,
you want to hear my answer?
Go ahead.
My answer to that is that, first of all, you do have a lot of bad police officers who are, they're conscious. Just get to them, and they realize that they effing up. And they realize they're getting caught, and they get paid the consequence, and they got to deal with the consequence of getting caught. The other side of that is police officers who, unfortunately, out here really want to do a good job, but they're in a bad place because what's happening is that the law and administrative courts and the very same people and organization who should be protecting them, they can't operate, and they are many times being put under the gun, under the microscope, falsely. As a matter of fact, I have a cousin who is dealing with a similar type of situation where he's a black man and he ain't never been a cop out here messing with folks for no reason. But unfortunately,
how you know that?
How you know that, sir? That was trying to rock.
Sir,
I do know it. I do know. Let me finish.
Are you a cop? Are you his partner?
Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying, please.
No.
Let me finish what I was about to say.
No.
Please don't cut. I was about to make a point. I beg you, please.
You've been talking for 20 minutes.
Let me make this point. Okay, all right. But what I'm trying to say, what happened was this. Let me say it. Please let me get it out. Let me get this out. What happened with him was there was a man on the street when he was off duty walked up to him trying to rob him. Okay? And what happened was that he realized that he still had his piece on him. And the dude said, well, hey, you know, empty your pockets. And they're all like, oh, shit. You know, then my cousin like, oh, well, shit, if I have to empty my pockets, this man gonna know I got a piece in there, you know. So he had to whip out his piece right quick and do something about the situation. So now my cousin was criminally charged for defending himself. He was being robbed on the street.
Did the person have a gun?
And why do you think?
Did the person rob him? Did he have a gun? In his own department, he's criminally charged.
They exchanged fire. They exchanged gunfire.
Okay, and he's been criminally charged.
They exchanged gunfire.
How? Okay, what he's charged with? What he's being charged with?
I don't know exactly, but all I'm trying to say is
you don't know exactly.
Oh,
come on now, hold on.
No.
Hold it. Come on now.
He's being charged with the shooting.
Come, brother, listen.
Are you listening to the circumstance?
No. You can't even tell me what he's been charged with.
Robbed on the street.
You're not telling me what he's being charged with. What is your cousin being charged with?
With the shooting. I don't know that the legal thing is being charged with the shooting. I don't know the legal stuff. I'm not a lawyer.
Is he locked up?
I'm saying that listen to the circumstance.
Sir.
No, of course not. No.
Oh, okay then. All right, I got to go to the next caller.
Listen,
I got to go to the next caller. Next caller. All right. Eric Code 917.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
You know who this is, right?
Yeah, I know exactly who you are.
I'm good. I want to say first, Martin, you've got some people on here tonight that know how to read, write, comprehend. I love it. There's so many smart people tonight. So, real quick, I'm going to address something that's brand new, right? The reading, writing.
You got to talk louder because I don't listen.
Home, right?
Hold it. You have to talk louder. Get me off speakerphone because there's an echo or Bluetooth, and you always sound like you're whispering. So I don't know. Go to it. You know, you have to speak up so we can hear you.
Okay, so what I was saying is there's a lot of intelligent people on here tonight that know how to read, write, comprehend, and I'm just excited about it. But can you hear me okay or no?
Yeah, it's echo.
I'm trying my best.
Is your phone on speakerphone?
I'm going to try to push through.
Are your phone?
No, not at all.
Are you on Bluetooth?
Nothing. No, Martin. It's me. No.
It's a feedback with you.
He's got another device.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you because it's too echo.
If everybody goes on mute. Okay.
I have to come back to you. 912. Come on, Eric Code.
Okay. If everybody goes on mute. Okay.
912.
No, that didn't somebody else called in 912, didn't they?
Yeah, it's another 912. I'm sorry, 1660.
Yeah, that's the sister. That's not me.
Yeah, 1660. I'm sorry, Sarge. 1660. I forgot.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
How you doing? Sir, what was the topic again?
Let me come back to you, brother. Listen in. Just listen in. I got to go to the next caller. 1910.
Okay.
1910.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm calling in to speak on the very same situation that you all are speaking about and the problems within the police force and the difference between the way police officers treat white individuals and the difference between the way they treat Black individuals. Well, that's strongly happening inside the police force itself between Black police officers and white police officers. So Black police officers are being discriminated against in the police force against other white police officers. You know, they have a hard time. You know, one thing that I'll see if you all can remember, a friend of mine. We went to school together. He was sitting in front of his house one night, had just come back from his retirement party, and police pulled up. They jumped out of the car. 2 white little rookie cops automatically pulling out their guns and telling them to get out the car. And he's like, you know, I live here. This is where I live. And then he said to them, they're like, get out of the car. And he's like, why should I get out the car? So somebody's feedback, but he's asking him, why should he get out of the car? So he's talking about his amendments and all these things. They pull the car door open, slam him out of the car. He's telling them, I'm a cop. Oh, once he tells them he's a cop, oh, they really pissed off. I mean, they punching them, calling them all kind of niggers, slurring, all kind of racial, discriminating words that they're saying to them. They roughed them up, you know. And, you know, when he tells this story, he tells you that when he was a police officer and some of the young brothers used to tell him that the white officers do them like that. He said a lot of those stories, most of those stories, he never believed until it happened to him, a black police officer himself, in front of his house with 2 rookie cops. I mean, eventually after it was all talked.
Go ahead, sister. I got rid of that sound. Go ahead. Go ahead, my sister. Sister, go ahead. Sister.
Who are you talking to? Because
I'm not talking to you.
One.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm not
Okay.
talking to you.
I'm just
Okay.
asking.
1660. Okay. All right, hold on. 1910. 1910.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
back. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't know where I left off at, but you know, I'm just letting you know that a friend of mine was a police officer who was sitting in front of his house, had just come back from his retirement party. Some white officers pulled up, harassing him, telling him to get out the car, and he refused to get out the car, and he's, you know, talking about his First Amendment rights and his Fifth Amendment rights and telling them everything. They end up pulling the car door open because it was unlocked. He was in front of his house. They slammed him on the car, and now he's telling them, I'm a police officer, because he's got a gun on him. He's got a couple guns on him, one in his back, one down on his leg or whatever, you know. So one of them, I guess he wasn't supposed to have on his leg. I don't know, but make a long story short, you know, they roughed him up. And when he tells this story, he says that when he was a Chicago police officer on the streets of Chicago, and these guys would tell these stories about how these white guys roughed them up, how these white cops roughed them up, and how they wouldn't listen to nothing they were saying. He said he did not believe these stories until it happened to him. A black police officer sitting in front of his house, off duty, got beat up by his own kind, by his own blue, who wouldn't listen to him. Little young, rookie, white, racist boy. And, you know, he ended up, you know, suing, got a settlement and all of that. It was actually in the news. His name is Brown. This happened in 2012, but this racial divide is happening inside the police force. This is why so many police officers may be killing themselves. And they come in so young, 20 years old, you know, they're not even old enough to even know how to know if something is a real threat or something, you know. So you got babies on the streets, but I've seen a whole lot of racial divide in the police force. I really have. So, you know, these police officers, they don't care who they target. You could be a citizen or you could be a black officer that works with them. They gonna still treat your ass different.
Okay. All right, let me go to the next caller.
And,
okay,
and
I'm gonna go
you're
back.
You're gonna have to accept what it is, what it is.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, 1660. Go ahead now.
Hey, how you doing, sir? My name is Maurice. I was calling on behalf of my mother, because she normally listens to your show,
Mm-hmm.
Latina. But yeah, I just want to talk on the thing about the police departments and like they're still talking on the same thing.
Yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
just saying, like,
Go
far
ahead,
as
sir.
the police department,
Right.
like, far as them, like, having the suicide thing going on,
Mm-hmm.
it's more so they're starting to understand, like, if they have any humanity in them after they take the oath, once they graduate from the academy, right? They're starting to understand that it's not all about serving for check. It's really about a check, to be honest. Because you do the math. How you heard the saying, worth more dead than alive, it's actually a break even. So who knows how much it takes to house a state prisoner? 30,000 plus dollars. 30 to 30,000. Federal 50, 55 plus thousand. So a lot of these people, like, far as inside the department, a lot of people, far as like the celebrities that we like to claim and idolize, whatnot, they have like what I want to call private investments. It's like, so to speak, a lot of people that you would never think are invested in building on to this place. You let them tell it it's real estate. No, they getting a piece of the pie as well. So I feel they'll sell off as well. So that's why this thing is a reoccurring cycle. And it trickles down all the way to the low man, all the way down to the youngins, black boys, black girls. I hate to say black. I like to say carbon melanated because it's more power. Black is when you get in court or anything else political. Once you say black is null and void. It has no meaning. It has no standing as far as constitutional right. So now we see the top of the iceberg where the game is being played, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
So the thing we need to do is, I know nobody wants to hear it, but it's time to diffuse our outsourcing of their services. We need to look forward into investments of each other. It's time to govern ourselves again. It's time to stop thinking about what they're going to do about problems and let us become the alkaline solutions to the toxins. Whether it's dealing with us or whether it's the problems that they're having us, live in the existence of a fake propagate of situations, was really not real once we come to the idea of we control what we do. A government is only to a control mentality. We can't govern ourselves. Who's going to care about us more than us?
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, Martin. He was on the money. He was on the money about the money part, Martin.
Okay. All right, Sarge, let me go to this next caller.
He agrees to sovereignty. Hold on, one more thing.
All right, brother, you got to come
on with it. Can I tell y'all about? Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Once it comes to the part of us like perishing and transitioning, the funeral homes, a lot of times, like, this might be a little too deep. I don't want to scare nobody.
Brother,
make sure you check on those.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm quite sure
Okay.
I'm older than you, and you got people on here 63, some older, brother. So you can't scare nobody with no knowledge, brother. Go ahead.
All right. But it's like once it comes to the family members perishing and whatnot, you need to make sure, check on that, because a lot of times the for lack of better terms, the body of the perished, the ones that left, our loved ones, their organs are being sold for profit as well. Organ harvesting, trafficking. Chicago already knows about this stuff, though. I was just putting in my 2 cents again about it. That's why they invest on the sending the guns through the trains and giving them boys plenty of guns like that to destroy themselves for a bigger profit. Smoking mirrors.
I agree with
that.
that.
That's all I was saying. I ain't want to take up all your time.
Okay,
I ain't want to take up all your time.
I agree with that.
I thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you, sir. 2575. Last 4 digits. Call it 2575.
Yeah, I'm here.
Come on, sir. Whatever you want to say.
Basically, what I was listening on tonight, because a lot of people, see, I'm 49 years old.
Okay.
I was through the hassle when everything went on. when the police were putting drugs on people, guns on people, and built careers off of doing that. So basically, what I'm hearing is a lot of people don't understand. A lot of the policing in the neighborhood, they go off what people say goes on in the neighborhood, but they never really been in the neighborhood to see what's really going on. It really don't necessarily be the people that's out there in the neighborhood doing it. A lot of people back in the 90s and the early 2000s, police was putting cases on people to build their careers.
Yep. Yep.
And a lot of people don't understand putting drugs. I was there. They were jumping people. They was on Roosevelt throwing people in the lagoon. I seen it all. They did it all. A lot of people don't know that if they had cameras and everything back then, a whole lot of stuff would open up and be seen.
Amen.
But it is like, and I'm from Chicago, and I know I know what all was going on. They built careers off of doing things, putting cases on people. I'm like, wow. They tried me one time.
Give me a gun.
I ran.
You got 5 minutes.
Yeah, give me guns. You get cases, go and put cases on people. People they didn't like, they'll put a case on them. People they didn't like, they'll take a gun, put them on them. Put drugs on them. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's been going on for a long time, and it's just not really opening up. Back then, when you fight the police, you had to fight. If you try to fight them back for what they do to you, man, you had the whole force on you jumping.
Look what they did to Angelo.
True.
Yeah, they did it. It doesn't matter. Then when you step up and try to do it like me, right now today, I kid you not, they run my name. I got to have a whole force on just one me because I've defended myself back in the day. And it's ridiculous. And then they talking about how these young ones is, and the way I agree and I disagree with how the young ones is because they got more heart than we ever had.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Martin, can I?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Okay.
No, you can't.
Don't stop at me, okay?
Because they have more heart because for the simple fact is a lot of things that I disagree with how the young generation is, but in a way I really don't disagree with what they do because they got more heart to stand up to them right now. And getting a little carried away, don't get me wrong, but man, there's something that's been coming a long time. And if truth be said, if they don't change, I see myself in my eyes, and I kid you not, it's going to be the people from the neighborhood going to be against the police, and it's going to get outraged. It's going to be like another, civil war. If they don't stop it and shut it down, it's going to end up that way.
I believe that, brother. And let me explain something to what this brother's saying. For those of you that don't know, I know where he's coming from. I'm 54. So things that these young people are doing, we didn't have the heart to do. Shoot the police, go downtown, rob people. Downtown was like a safe haven, like a neutral ground. But they robbed it everywhere. Am I right, brother? Now, correct me if I'm wrong now. Correct.
I speak the same thing.
Right. And I understand it's been a long time coming. The police have done so many dirty things to people. And eventually, these young folks, they shooting police. And I'm not saying it's right at all. But I understand them. And you wonder why it's so many shootouts with the police just because of things like this. And a black man know if an officer pull them over and the officer see that gun, the officer going to shoot. So that's why these young people out here shooting their way out of the things and running and drag racing, running from the police and speeding up down one-way streets. And we see it. They doing things that we didn't have hard to do. The brother is saying it. I know what he's saying. And I'm not justifying this bad behavior.
We never touched downtown.
Never.
That was like a safe haven of Chicago when we was young. We always, there was no trouble. But now, they got the heart to attack the heart of it all.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't understand. It ain't what's going on. This been coming a long time. If you got the heart attack downtown, you got the attack, man. Imagine where else is gonna go.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I agree. I agree. And let me say this too, brother. We don't hear this a lot. You have some Chicago police officers have been working on the force for 20, 25 years, 30 years, never discharged a firearm. Never. You hear me? I'm not saying pull it out, but never discharge their firearm. You don't hear that too much talking like that no more. But it's still real, people. They've went a whole career.
They don't give you. They don't give you a chance.
Yeah.
They don't. Right now, they don't even give us a chance to even explain ourselves. They don't give us a chance to get out the car. They don't give enough. Before you know, you get a guard on, you make one move, you fired up, and then you don't have to have a weapon these days.
Yeah, you don't have to have a weapon these days.
You gonna say something. You gonna say something they dislike. See, they gave us the freedom of speech, but it really don't mean nothing. Then we don't supposed to approach and say what we want to say out of our mouth. We too aggressive to them. They feel threatened. It's just ridiculous. They don't like me because I'm going to speak my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I bet sometimes a lot of people say, man, you need to chill out, calm down. No. You're not. Even I'm going to use it as excuse. I went to court one day for traffic. The judge talked to me like I'm below. He was off my own kind. And so I said, man, hold on. First and foremost, I'm a man just like you is. Don't talk to me like I'm a little kid. Now, everybody in the courtroom, they felt some type of way. I said, man, look, if you want respect, you got to get respect. I don't care where you're sitting there, where you at. Man, just respect me as a man and respect you as a man. He locked me up for a traffic case that wasn't even called for to be locked up for the weekend. Come back. He couldn't even look me in my face, dismissed all charges and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the judicial system. It's everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I speak my man as a man. If you want respect, you got to give respect. I don't care who you is.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, it's getting ridiculous out there, man.
Yes, sir.
I feel sorry. I don't think I can say, man, pray, hope it get better. But, man, it's crazy. We're going to lose a lot of them due to this if they don't change it.
I agree. Okay, thank you, sir. Let me get to this young lady. All right. Tiffany, come on, Tiff.
Okay. So hello, Martin. So what I want to say, right, is I've come to realize, right, no more can I say, oh, it's the female fault, because we're going to still have sex, okay? You can't stop it, right? So there's nothing else that we can stop. The infidelity, I've come to realize, we're not going to get married. It's too many years, 30 years too late, right? But there's one thing left, and it's what our ancestors, it's all they wanted. White boy wouldn't let us read that white boy book, but we learned how to read that Bible, right? That's where we started to fall off. That's why they prey on us. That's why they laugh, and that's why they sit here and get confused. Well, half of them are in 2023, like Renee, I think half of them in 2020. Half of us in 2023. The other half in 1960, 1970, and it's okay. Now you see where I'm going with this? Okay. Because we don't read. We don't read, write, and comprehend. It has to start at home by 3 years old, not when they get to kindergarten. Come on, now we're going back to letting everybody else be responsible to raise our kids. So guys, that's it. We will never be able to turn around infidelity. It's 30 years too late. We'll never be able to stop teen pregnancy. 30 years too late. We'll never be able to stop the fact of the man not being able to live in the home, because Section 8 allows you to be married. That's over. There's one hope left, and that's to read to them babies when they're itty little babies, because that's the only way we're going to win. Again, let's go back to, and it's not just us, right? This is all over the USA, right? We're not I'm on a court because we're not reading, we're not writing, we're not comprehending, right? The other thing that Martin, I want to hear your feedback too. So there's this one big thing, right, Martin, that I've come to realize, and me and my girlfriends, my husband, my friends, it's called white guilt politicians. And they got to die off before we can ever do anything. White guilt politicians are the first in charge, the first reasons why our little black boys, little black girls are out here doing what these kids do what they want to do. I swear to God. They like, man, if the moms ain't teaching the kids, fuck it. I mean, my bad. But yeah, screw it. We're not going to teach the kids either. White guilt politicians under Fentanyl Floyd has told everybody to stand down. They only care about these dumbass statues. That's all they care about and they care about the goddamn paint on the roadway. So oh man, no. It's white guilt politicians. All they care about is the money. They don't care about nobody. And that's why our kids are doing, man, I know they having fun. Shit, if I could do it, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, it's not as bad. They're having fun. Why not? They get to do it. You know what I'm saying? They gave us our catch and release. They gave it to us. You see how half of us love it? The other half don't like it? They love, man, them white folks, man. I didn't know they were this devilish, and I'm mixed. But I promise you, they got to die off. That white guilt politician got to go. I swear to God, man, they like F it. Let them do what they want to do. We don't want them burning down our ugly, dumbass statues. We don't want them marking up our God. No, man, them people are devil, man. That white guilt politician, I swear to God. I was told by Charleston White and by you, Martin, this land belongs to that white boy. White boy ain't staying. White boy is standing down, man. I swear to God. And what's going to happen to it? I know I'm just doing some talking. I'm sorry, guys, but I own everything, Martin. All they doing, they evil, man, letting our kids, man, no. They don't give a, man, no. And they know we not educated, not enough of, right? Not enough of. And the ones that are educated, man, they stay out the way. They don't want to be part, man. Shoot, no. They don't want to be a part of that confusion. Them people devil, man. If this is their country, Martin, as they say, right? They faces on our money. Martin, they dirty, man. Letting our kids do that to each other. They evil, Martin. And they letting our little shorties get these, the catch and release, right? And all the carjack going downtown. Come on, man. They going out to Joliet. They going out to Naperville. They doing whatever. That's them, man, them white folks is demons. I didn't know they were, I mean, I'm mixed, but come on, I got diversity. Come on, they demons, Martin. If this is their country that they claim, then the fuck they ain't, man, no. And with the females and the dads, I know I can't side no more. The only thing we can do is learn how to read, write, and comprehend. That's it. They don't care about us, man. And the ones that are smart, like me, you, and a whole lot of other of us, we stay out the way. It's not many of people like you, Martin. I swear to God. And we're, yeah, man, no, they devilish, Martin. Them people devil, man. Them white guilt politicians. And let me tell you this, Martin, I'm sorry. I know I'm a little hyper. I'm sorry. Let me tell you something about how devil they are, Martin. Every time our little black boys get out here and do that, right? And I'm talking Philly, New York City, Brooklyn, where I stay at, right? Mm-hmm. So our little black boys are doing this all over. Frisco is bad, San Francisco. Way, way, way worse than Oakland. Them goddamn white guilt politicians don't put our little black boys on MSNBC. You don't see our little black boys on CNN. You don't see them on Fox News because that's a white guilt politics. Ooh, they so evil. They don't want the rest of the world to see what our America looks like. We got to hide what's really going on with blacks because they're not included. Man, they evil. Yeah, no, man, they evil, Martin. They evil. They don't plaster our little black kids. They keep them hidden. We'll keep them in the local news. We're not going to put them on. That's why a lot of us, we always are like, man, we don't get the attention. They sure like to say mass shooting, but dang, why we don't get the attention? See, watch, this not going to go on CNN or MSN or woo-woo. They not going to. They evil, man. They're evil. If a little white boy go and do what our little black boys are doing, ain't no goddamn way. Ain't no, or else the little white kids be doing it too. They wrong, man. They evil. And all they doing is letting these little black boys get better and better at their crime. It's kind of like the feds, right? When they go in and do the indictment, right? They let the little black boys get better and better. And then just like that, how the feds do, right? Just like that. Now we're going to give them life. And now we're going to take their sperm from them. Because black women, they ain't messing with nobody. No. Okay, so what do you think, Martin? I'm sorry I'm a little hyper, but I'm very passionate. I can't stand them white guilt politicians. The only thing that we can do that's left is to get them babies and get them moms a book in their hand when they itty bitty little kids. Stop saying that, oh, kindergarten first and all. That white folks, man, they evil, man. They prey on our ignorance so tough. Oh, even, I ain't gonna go against Brandon. No, I ain't gonna say nothing. But yeah, man, they evil. Them some evil, boy, they evil, Mark. Half of us still stuck in 1960. Can we at least be stuck in 1860? Let's go back to the man where our people were the greatest, man. Our people, it ain't no more Black Wall Street. We got to let it go until we do it, man. That's not what we did. Those people did that, man. Those people ain't here. Those were the greatest people in the world, man. It'll never be another slave like that. Those type of people, man, it makes me so angry. Man, no. Those were the greatest people ever, and they'll never be, and they never will be replaced. Those people were humble, meek, mild. They loved on each other, man, and they was getting tortured. Man, it was bad. It was bad. That white boy is the devil today in 2023. If we don't know how to learn, if we don't know how to read, write, comprehend, our airports and our borders are wide open because those people come here. They know how to import, export businesses. They stay up with today, 2023, the way that this country's evolving in medicine, engineering. Skip a goddamn cares about social media. Ain't nobody, man, no. And all they doing is hiding that black boy. We can't let them see what the black boy doing over here. No, they're excluded. They in their own world. Yeah, man, they hell. Okay, go ahead, Martin. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll let you get it out. I'm getting close to show out anyway.
Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. You got it all out. Okay, I'll let you get it all out now.
Yeah, but I want to hear your feedback. I want your feedback.
No, I mean, you said enough. I don't have to say much. You said it. You said it. I've been preaching for
a
long time.
Do you agree?
No, I mean, you've
been agree with anything?
Listen, I didn't say I disagree with anything. I would have stopped you if I disagree with anything. Ask you a question.
No, I want to hear what you feel.
I'm not going. I've been on it too. I'm getting ready to get off here and go to bed. I got to get up in the morning.
They the devil.
No,
hey, Martin, they're the devil, huh,
hey,
Martin?
Yeah, listen.
Martin, they're the devil, huh? They are the devil, Martin.
Okay.
They devil, Martin. They got the
Sarge,
Martin.
Yeah, go ahead, Sarge.
No, me and Martin was talking. No. Me and Martin
Tiff. I asked Martin.
You did that to the other guy. No, you don't ask.
I asked Martin.
Tiffany.
That's what the white folks, they love this.
Tiffany.
White folks love this.
Tiffany,
yes,
you was doing great.
Sir.
Let Sarge talk. Let Sarge talk. You was doing
he
great.
Always had something to
I
say.
know. Let Sarge
say in 1960 and 70.
Come on now.
So he wanted
come on, Tiffany. I want to cut you off now.
Okay.
Let the man talk.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
All right, come on. Sarge, go ahead.
Hey, check it out. You know what many people don't know? With us military veterans, they got PTSD. It's already in the police department's computers.
Man,
you know, when they pull us over, they'll get 3 more cars to come out, according to our license plate.
Mm-hmm.
Our medical.
That's about our people, man. They don't
Martin.
Seem like they
that's
care.
wrong.
They don't care about us.
Martin,
they let our little
Martin, that's wrong.
They know that the mothers is out here.
Martin, see how I can't even finish.
You're still talking about something.
That's disrespectful, Martin.
Hold it.
You're irrelevant, man.
Everything
you say is irrelevant, dude.
Hold it.
Hold it. Too old, man.
Hold it, Tiffany.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. That's gonna be it.
Okay.
Let the brother talk. Brother, you listen. He didn't say anything when you talked. He kept quiet. Give him the same respect. Well, give him. Listen, this is my show, Tiffany, not yours.
Yes, sir. That's
Come
right.
on,
okay.
Sarge, go ahead.
Okay.
Sarge,
yeah, now check it out. Now what they do is, once our doggone psychological profile is built, you know we federal anyway, right? So they put that in there. And if somebody's psychological profile says that they're suicidal or homicidal due to PTSD, it comes up when they pull your license plate up. And I forgot what they called it, but they'll get like 1 officer or 1 car do the pullover, 2 others will be en route, if not 3. then they'll come and talk to you. It's a show of force. That's what it's called, a show of force. Yeah. And see, that's something that people don't know.
Okay.
Now just imagine they doing that to us. Can I finish? Can
Tiffany,
I
don't do
finish?
that. I'm about to
Please.
ban you off.
Okay, Martin.
I'm not even gonna make a comment on nothing else, Martin. I'm just stating on the facts I'm trying to give to you. Now, if they do that to we Iraq, Afghanistan war veterans, it ain't no telling what they doing to regular civilians. I don't know what they doing, what information they got in license plate in the computer once they doggone type somebody's license plate in. Ain't no telling. But I know with us, the PTSD suffering veterans, they show up 3 or 4 cars deep every time on a regular old traffic stop. And that includes state troopers.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right, people, we're going to leave it right there. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. All right, people, thank y'all for tuning in. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. And I don't know about you, but I love being black. And I want to say this, people, those of you that are black, do not let no social media video or no TV, major media. Here we go with this thing again. Hold on. Let me get this person off here. Social media make you hate black people. Be ashamed of being black. Be proud of who you are. Everything that you see on TV don't represent every black person. Shooting, killing, murder, robbing, prostitution, whatever it is. Everything that you see on TV or every video that you see don't represent every black person. So never be ashamed of who you are. Love who you are. I love being black. And good night.